one of teacher in here.
Thank you, Miss Aslin. We respect to your sir and Madam Thailand. And bahasa Indonesia and bilingual and nanti Miss Aslin yang menerjemahkan di bahasa Inggrisnya ya.
No, 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 no,
Oke,
no, 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 no.
oke, oke. Uh,
Nggak.
Baik, uh, yang kami hormati Bapak Ibu semua, izin saya memperkenalkan diri. Saya Dr. Bakhrudin Habsi. Pada kesempatan hari ini saya berbagi ilmu di dalam program pengabdian kepada masyarakat ya dengan tema konseling rasional emotif perilaku untuk mengembangkan pikiran rasional korban bullying. Kalau kita bicara tentang bullying, bullying itu adalah perilaku menyakiti orang lain yang dilakukan secara individual atau secara kelompok. Kalau bullying sendiri itu terdiri atas ada 4 kategori ya, baik secara fisik ya, memukul, menendang itu fisik, verbal, mengejek dengan kata-kata, dengan kalimat gitu ya. Kalau di Indonesia itu biasanya eh, banyak sekali ujaran-ujaran ya kayak seperti temannya yang agak gemuk gitu dibilang gendut gitu ya dan lain. Psikologis dan juga bullying melalui internet atau yang kita kenal dengan cyberbullying. Fenomena bullying yang ada biasanya bisa berbentuk tawuran antar siswa, seringkali terjadi dan membawa dampak ketidaknyamanan, keresahan, dan kondisi tidak aman di sekolah. Rata-rata kasus bullying terhadap anak itu di beberapa negara itu 881 kasus bullying terhadap anak dan perempuan setiap hari. Angka ini meningkat 90%, 9% per tahunnya. Nah, kenapa sih kok ada seorang individu atau anak itu yang melakukan bullying gitu ya? Dari sisi psikologis, motivasi utama adalah ketidakmampuan untuk menahan emosi. Dan orang yang melakukan bullying itu kadang dilakukan adalah kepada orang yang kuat dan ditujukan kepada yang lemah sebagai media mengekspresikan perasaan seperti marah, frustasi atau sedih. Perilaku bullying sendiri terkadang juga disebabkan karena individu yang tumbuh di lingkungan di mana bullying seringkali dipertontonkan sehingga bullying sebagai perilaku yang wajar. Tetap bullying di Indonesia seperti ini Bapak Ibu, ya, data-data bullying. Ah, di dalam bullying tentunya ada peran-peran yang yang ada dalam bullying seperti adalah bully. Bully ini adalah siswa yang dikategorikan sebagai pemimpin dalam perilaku bullying. Ada bully asisten yang dia terlibat aktif dalam perilaku bullying namun tergantung mengikuti perintah bully. Jadi dia adalah asisten pemimpin bullying. Dan ada reinforcer. Reinforcer ini adalah orang yang suka memanas-manasi gitu ya. Atau orang yang memberikan motivator gitu kepada seorang bullying. Mereka yang ada ketika kejadian bullying terjadi ketika ikut menyaksikan dan mentertawakan serta memprovokasi. Lalu ada outsider, adalah orang yang tahu adanya kondisi bullying tapi dia itu membiarkan aja gitu ya. Lalu ada defender, orang yang berusaha membela dan membantu korban dan seringkali dia ini menjadi korban bullying. Nah, beberapa dampak bullying eh, menurut pandangan Seto Mulyadi mengungkapkan bahwa bullying telah menjadi salah satu penyebab anak stres dan berkembang menjadi penyandang school phobia. Ah, yang selanjutnya adalah film-film yang ada adegan bullying. Kalau di Indonesia itu ada film seperti Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, ya. Itu ketika disiarkan di televisi Indonesia itu mengandung adegan bullying sebesar 58,4% daripada adegan yang prososial. Dan menurut pandangan Santrok, eh, dampak dari tayangan yang mengandung bullying itu menyebabkan remaja meniru perilaku tersebut seperti remaja akan senang menonjolkan diri dengan cara berkelahi, merasa hebat, dianggap populer oleh teman-temannya. Smash dan Kaveri menyatakan bahwa konten yang digunakan remaja dalam internet adalah jejaring sosial, pesan singkat, game online, unggah video, dan musik di mana konten-konten tersebut dapat berdampak negatif, yaitu memunculkan perilaku tidak baik pada remaja. Fenomena bullying yang ada di sekolah mengakibatkan siswa bunuh diri, siswa sekolah dasar di Inggris menggantungkan diri dalam kamarnya karena merasa tidak mampu lagi menghadapi bullying. Vivi Kusrini di SMPN 10 Bekasi nekat bunuh diri karena sering diejek sebagai anak tukang bubur ya. Linda, anak SMP di Jakarta ditemukan bunuh diri di rumahnya karena mengalami depresi yang disebabkan sering diejek. Elizabeth Bush, orang siswa di kelas 2 SMP Pennsylvania, membawa senjata ayahnya yang digunakan untuk melukai temannya yang dituduh kerap memanggilnya idiot, bodoh, gemuk, dan jelek. Fenomena-fenomena tersebut merupakan sebuah kasus problematika yang ada di bullying di negara Amerika, Eropa, Asia, dan juga Indonesia. Siswa yang menjadi korban bullying itu mengalami perilaku menyakiti, ya, perilaku yang tersakiti, serangan fisik baik verbal maupun fisik, dan siswa yang menjadi korban bullying itu sangat berpotensi untuk menjadi pelaku bullying, gitu ya. Seorang siswa yang sering tersakiti, dia akan menginginkan untuk menjadi seorang pelaku untuk menyakiti orang yang lebih lemah daripada dia. Closo mengemukakan bahwa bullying akan selalu mengibatkan tiga unsur, yaitu yang pertama adalah imbalance power atau kekuatan, desire to hurt atau keinginan untuk mencederai, dan yang ketiga ancaman agresi lebih lanjut dan mengatakan menyenangkan memanggil orang dengan julukan yang buruk. Dampak dari bullying sendiri, eh, pelaku dan korban bullying merupakan elemen kunci yang perlu mendapatkan perhatian khusus. Pelaku dan korban bullying ini berisiko tinggi untuk gagal dalam pendidikan. Nah, pelaku dan korban bullying dapat menyebabkan perilaku kriminal di kemudian hari, dan bullying erat kaitannya dengan perilaku yang antisosial pada masa mendatang setelah anak menjadi dewasa. eh yang selanjutnya, solusi di dalam menangani bullying ini, saya mengemukakan sebuah solusi dari pendekatan kognitif behavior, yaitu teori konseling rasional emotif behavior. Teori teori konseling rasional emotif behavior ini memandang bahwasanya manusia pada dasarnya unik ya, kecenderungannya untuk berpikir rasional dan irasional. Menurut pandangan rasional emotif behavior, permasalahan itu terjadi tidak dipengaruhi oleh lingkungan, tetapi dari beliefnya, keyakinannya. Ketika saya dilukai, ketika saya diejek oleh lingkungan di luar diri kita, menganggap itu masalah dan tidak, itu ada tergantung pada diri kita. Saya menganggap, "Oh, ya sudah, dia mengejek saya cuek-cuek aja, selesai masalahnya. Oh, dia mengejek saya harus membalasnya." Nah, itu malah tambah membawa masalah baru gitu ya. Nah, tentunya pendekatan rasional emotif behavior ini dikembangkan oleh seorang ahli yang bernama Albert Ellis ya. Eh, Beliaunya sebelumnya memproklamirkan pendekatan rasional emotif behavior ini dengan nama rasional emotif terapi ya. Eh, Dia mengungkapkan bahwasanya karakteristik dari keyakinan dengan cara berpikir yang irasional. Hakikat manusia, manusia menurut pandangan Ellis adalah manusia adalah makhluk yang berpotensi. Manusia itu bermasalah dan tidak bukan dipengaruhi oleh orang lain, tapi oleh dirinya sendiri. Dan manusia merupakan orang yang mampu untuk menyelesaikan dirinya. Manusia adalah makhluk yang berpikir, merasa, dan berbuat. Pemahaman ini mengatakan bahwasanya walaupun sebobrok apapun lingkungan saya, ketika saya menganggap eh, saya mampu, saya bisa, saya tidak akan terpengaruh oleh lingkungan saya. Manusia adalah makhluk yang mudah terpengaruh, pelaku verbal dan berpikir manusia kecenderungan untuk menilai diri sendiri. Yang selanjutnya, kalau kita melihat pandangan dari pendekatan kognitif behavior, manusia itu terdiri oleh activity event atau situasi di luar dirinya. Lalu adalah belief, belief itu adalah keyakinan yang bersifat rasional dan irasional. Ketika saya dibully, itu adalah activity event saya. Belief kadang kita mempunyai pemikiran yang irasional dan rasional. Ketika kita berpunya pemikiran irasional, maka konsekuensinya akan mempengaruhi pikiran, emosi, dan behavior kita juga irasional juga. Tetapi kalau kita berpikir rasional, maka konsekuensinya berkaitan dengan behavior, emosi, dan kognitif akan menjadi baik. Maka di dalam belief itu kadang kita self-talk pada diri, bisa nggak ya saya, bisa tidak nggak saya. Maka belief yang irasional harus segera didispute atau debat irasional belief. Ketika ada pemikiran yang irasional muncul pada diri kita, keyakinan irasional muncul dari kita, segera debat. Saya mampu, saya bisa. Nah, supaya efeknya akan menjadi rasional. Oke, ini menurut pandangan kognitif behavior. Nah, oke. Salah satu teknik dalam kognitif behavior itu banyak sekali perannya konselor di sini sebagai lebih edukatif, direktif ya, mendorong konseling, kemampuan rasional ya, dan lain-lain. Teknik-tekniknya bisa ada dispute irrational belief seperti yang tadi yang saya jelaskan. Ketika ada keyakinan irasional pada dirinya, dilakukan debat atau dispute irrational belief. Doing cognitive and homework, yaitu menerapkan teori ABC tadi di dalam menangani masalah, menempatkan diri dalam situasi yang lebih berisiko untuk menantang keyakinan yang irasional, mengganti pernyataan diri self statement yang irasional menjadi rasional. Ah, lalu teknik emotifnya ada rasional emotive imagery, membayangkan hal-hal yang terburuk yang terjadi dengan menggantinya yang lebih baik. Role playing, self attack exercise, ya. Ini ada behavior cog teknik, ada activity homework, reinforcement and punishment, skill training, dan lain-lain. Oke, yes, gitu, gitu aja, Miss Eslin. Saya kembalikan ke Miss Eslin. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning.
Okay, thank you, Pak Hapsi. Maybe Ivan become a moderator today. Ivan?
Yes, Miss. So, thank you for Mr. Hapsi to the great explanation about bullying and RBC. And the next material will be delivered by
Saya Ivan.
by Miss Eselin. For the time and place is yours.
Kan, sudah direkam kan? Recording
Sudah, Pak.
Zoom? Sudah.
Okay. I try to speak in bahasa Thai, okay? Sorry if wrong ya. Sawadee Thon Chow, correctly? Correctly? Okay. Ko hai puak rau kai rang. Correctly ya. Okay. Good morning everybody. Okay. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ayu. I presenting the group to discuss bullying prevention training for teachers. Okay, I apologize in advance for any language mistake in presenting my materials. Okay, I have two PPT in Bahasa Inggris and Bahasa Thai. Okay, Talking about bullying, this is not only a problem experienced in Indonesia, but also in Asia, in Asia, and around the world. As educator, we need to address this problem to prevent it from escalating and negatively impacting our students. Okay, the first maybe okay. Bullying is not a proper behavior verbally, physically, and socially that happen in real world or in cyberspace, such that somebody feels uncomfortable, awkward, and stressed in which the action is conducted by a person of several persons. Bullying is intended to make other person fear and uncomfortable that is done for certain duration of time, and usually the action is recurred. Is correctly this meaning in bahasa Thai? Okay. Maybe
Yes, Miss, it's
it's
clear.
correctly. Okay, thank you.
Alright.
Okay. UNESCO 290 reported that bullying experienced by children around the world. Globally, is about 30% student age of 13 to 15 years regularly experience bullying. Tragically, about 1 of 5 students, 90%, is experience bullying every 1 or 2 days routinely at school. Wow, so very dangerous, yeah. Parties involved in the bullying, the victim, perpetrators, and the witness. The victim is person who experience bullying. Perpetrators person who do bullying. Sorry. The witness person who see the bullying happens. What the impact of bullying? Significant issue for student academic, example, academic performance decrease. Okay. Effect overall well-being and mental healthy issue. So what should we do? Comprehensive guide to such a training program. Understanding bullying, like define bullying and recognize its various forms. Identify signs, learn to identify signs of bullying in students. Prevention strategies, implement proactive strategies to prevent bullying. And intervention technique, develop effective method in intervening when bullying occurs. So We must comprehensive guide to such a training program like support system. Create a support system for victims and perpetrators. Legal and policy framework, understanding the illegal aspect and school policies and related to bullying. And in my group, we have make a training modules in the chapter like introducing to bullying, like definition and types, strategic and impact, math and fact, and number two, recognize bullying like signs, symptom, victim, preparator profile, observation, and technique. Number three, creating positive school climate, inclusive environment like strategies to promote inclusive and respect, school-wide policies, like development and effort enforcing anti-bullying politics, classroom management technique for fostering a positive classroom atmosphere. And in Indonesia has regulated protection for children in law number 23 of 202, law numbers 35 of 215 concerning child protection. Article has 45 has mentioned that number one, children and within the school environment must be protected from act of violence carried out by teacher, school administrator, or friend within the school concerned by other education institution. Number two, protect has intended in paragraph 1 is carried out by educator and staff education, government, official, and or society. Uh, Kok nggak berubah, sorry. Prevention strategies. We have a curriculum integration, peer support program, parent and community involvement. Number 5, intervention technique, immediate response, reporting procedures, conflict resolution. Number 6, supporting victim and preparators. Slide supporting victim and preparators, restorative practice and follow-up. Indonesia have a site that discuss handling bullying that can be accessed, where the cooperation between the police, minister, and psychological assistant you can access in http://bullying.org. Okay. Number 7, legal and policy framework. Understanding law, school police training and complaints. Training method like in my group, like we can make a workshop and seminar, role-playing experience, case studies, group discuss, online modules, and guest speaker to talk about psychologists, legal expert, and survivor of bullying. Okay. Next, resource like training manual, like comprehensive guides and handbook for teachers, toolkits like practical tools and resource for immediate implementation, online platform, access to online communities and support network, and then the next is helpness and hotlines, contact and information for emergency assistance. Okay. Evaluation and feedback. We can make a pre and post training assessment. Number two, survey and feedback form. Number three, continuous improvement. The implementation step like need assessment, develop a training plan, engage stakeholder. Number four, schedule training session. Number five, and the last is monitor and evaluate. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Reference about my PPT. Okay, thank you. Okay, Ivan.
Okay, thank you, Miss Evelyn. So the next material will be delivered by Miss Sherin. For Miss Sherin, the time and place is yours.
Sharing. Nggak dengar suaranya. Sharing, suaranya nggak dengar.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sherin Nugrita Widya. I want to presenting about guidance and counseling contribution to cultural harmony in Sangom Islam Bidayah School environment. Okay. The introduction is Sangom Islam Bidayah School as an education institution based on Islamic values, has a responsibility to foster cultural harmony among its students, with a focus on the holistic development of students. The school offers a rich curriculum that combines academic excellence with development of life skills. So, the research objective, this grade aims to provide direction and reference for the implementation of counseling in order to realize cultural harmony within Sangkom Islam Widaya School. So, the scope is the guidelines cover several aspects, namely cultural understanding, implementation of counseling service, BK development, cooperation with related parties. So the strategy is build awareness of the importance the cultural harmony. 2. Increase understanding of culture. 3. Develop intercultural communication skill. 4. Resolving intercultural conflict. 5. Building in inclusive community. Introduction to cultural diversity. The multicultural education is the concept that emphasizes the importance of the understanding, appreciating, and responding to cultural diversity in society. The main goal of the cultural education is to help students understand, respect, and utilize cultural difference in their daily life and the future. Provide an understanding of how cultural difference affects student experience and perspective. Cultural influence student experiment and perspective in various ways. Culture can also affect students' psychical experience, such as a space of the child's psychical development, which can vary based on the culture to which the child belongs. Provide an understanding of how cultural difference affects student experience and perspective. Culture can also influence student religious attitude and behavior. Culture can also influence student perspective through moral education, which can vary based on the culture of the student. Provide an understanding of how cultural difference affects student experience and perspective. Culture can also influence student experience through religious teaching, ceremonial exhibition, and other. Culture can also influence student perspective through different worldviews based on culture of the student. 2. In identifying stereotype and prejudice. Stereotypes are prejudice or judgment against a person based on certain characteristics such as race, gender, ethnic, or communication skill. This prejudice can come from the majority communication against the majority community, which can lead to traumatic ethnic violence. Next, good culture recognition education can help students understand the culture shared by other students, while helping to reduce stereotypes and prejudice that may arise. Here are some steps that can be taken. Start by introducing the concept of stereotype and prejudice to students. Case study, experiential learning, positive identity reinforcement, positive relation building, parent involvement. 3. Intercultural communication. Teacher can provide intercultural communication skill by performing various actions include active listening, asking open-ended questions, paying attention to body language. To practice communication that respect and understand cultural diversity, teacher and student can do following: education about cultural diversity, open discussion, acceptance of the difference, empathy practice, respect for traditional, body language and non-verbal expression, practicing open communication. The cultural conflict management, conflict resolution technique that are useful for overcoming tension or disagreement due to cultural difference may include open communication approach, mediation approach, relation building approach, adaptation approach. The integration culture in learning is an example. The counselor difficulty in offering multicultural counseling must really fit the counseling culture. From of the problem that arise in multicultural counseling guidance and SMPIT Aditya Lubuk Rikau include difficult for counselor in providing counseling that is truly in accordance with culture of the counselee. In an environment that consists of the diverse culture, counselor need to understand and appreciate the culture diversity student. The problem that arises is the lack of openness and closeness between counselor and student due that experience of the close culture. To overcome this, counselor need to provide gradual understanding to students to change the culture. Resolution effort is there are several relevant theories and research results that be linked. For the example, the cultural competence theory proposed by Cross and colleagues can provide a framework for understanding how counselor can develop understanding and skill in working with students from different cultures. The resolution effort. This is can understood that multicultural counseling within and at SMPIT Aditya Lubuk Linggau, there are several problems that need to be overcome to increase the effectiveness of the service. The first challenge is difficult for counselor in offering counseling that's truly approached to culture of the counseling. This requirement a deep understanding of the diverse culture honored by student and student understanding of multicultural life. Students need to be afforded with knowledge about cultural difference. The cultural difference through multicultural education so they can understand and appreciate this different provide our understanding of inclusive education and the effect of inclusive education on learning. Inclusive education refers to approach where children with a special need, whether physical, intellectual, or emotion, are invited to learn in the same environment as their peers who do not have a special need. One of the main benefits of inclusive education is that creative, welcoming, and inclusive environment for all children. Children learn to appreciate diversity and understand each other in this kind of environment. Six, cultural scientific skill building. Students learn the cultural skill necessary to impact with people around the world as an individual sense national and national identity is shaped by culture. Preserving cultural memory will lead to greater understanding of the national faith in a global society and community of nations. The use of cultural elimination in education can be novel way to draw student attention. Listen. It can also help students build strong connection between their classroom learning experiences and their lifestyle. 7. Collaborating with parents and communities. Research of the dynamic of the collaboration in character education in SEC for elementary school on parent and teaching development by Iman Subasman, Dian Widayantri, Rusi Rusmiati Alia. The research show that school in West Java integrate cultural and religious value in character education through the curriculum, extracurricular activity, and daily learning practice. In the integration of these values is not only applied through learning material but also through behavior example from teacher and integration between students. Significant improvement in student respect for cultural diversity, understanding and practice of religious value, and as well the development of empathy and cooperation are positive impact bin. Okay, and it is a case study and simulasi. Among the example of the strategies that teacher and develop in managing ethnic diversity is to create cross-ethnic learning group. That's in defining group in the classroom as much as possible consists of the student with different ethnic, such as Arab ethnic children combined with children from Java, Madura, and other ethnies. This strategy need to be done to try bring students to directly experience interaction in ethnic diversity. For example, by defining study group, class pick group consisting of the ethnical diversity student. From the strategy of defining student class picket group consisting of the ethnical diversity student, a homeroom teacher can appreciate his student by giving reward to most diligent pick group in the class. This can be seen from several criteria such as pick over desk arriving earlier, that over friend, no gerbang in the classroom and desk drawer, and clean blackboard. So the conclusion is cultural harmony in the school environment is important to realize quality and character education. Guidance and counseling has a strategy role creating cultural harmony with a Sangkom Islam Hidayah School. By applying appropriate strategies, guidance and counseling can help creating a harmonious school environment that conducive for all students to learn and develop. So thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you for Miss Serin for giving a great material, and then I want to say thank you to our presenter and the participant today is have attending this meeting. And then before we close the meeting today, I want to take a picture, take a screenshot first as a documentation. Maybe you guys can turn on your camera. Okay. Okay, so I will count 1, 2, 3, and then I'll screenshot with them. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, one more. 1, 2. Okay, enough. Thank you for your attention today, and see you in Thailand.
Iya.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Terima kasih semuanya.